lucha, our success. Mi gente, our voices. News 4 Latino.
Well, New York, of course, is known as a city of immigrants, and it's a moniker that dates back centuries. But despite all that history, the story of the man believed to be the city's first immigrant still relatively unknown. News 4's Erica Byfield caught up with historians who are looking to keep his story alive.
Before New York was New York, Juan Rodriguez was here. In fact, scholars believe he's the city's first immigrant.
It is a surprise to know that New York City began not in 1625, as it was the common understanding, but a few years before that, 1613.
Dr. Ramona Hernandez with City College of New York's Dominican Studies Institute showed us some of the documents that her team dug up to prove that. They say in 1613, Rodriguez sailed here from what we now call the Dominican Republic. He set up a business as a trader and married a Native American woman.
He comes in here in 1613, and we find him again in 1614.
That was more than a decade before the Dutch claimed the island as New Amsterdam, a timeline that makes Rodriguez, who had parents of African descent, the first Hispanic ever in America.
You should see the reaction of my students when I teach this particular lesson.
Miguel Perez says his students at Lehman College are flabbergasted.
They actually become very mad. They become offended. They basically ask over and over again, why didn't they teach me this when I went to history courses?
Public pressure has changed that. History books rewritten. In 2012, New York City even named a stretch of Broadway from Washington Heights through Inwood after him.
Do you know who that is?
But what he did, that his name is there.
Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Never?
Never.
Even so, no one we met here knew of him, but many wanted to know more.
I'm very proud because I am Dominican.
Back in her office at City College, Dr. Hernandez says that tells her there's more to do.
Obviously, we need to do more work for the memory not to die, right? And continue, so that we continue to remember that we have an immigrant, flesh and blood settling here.
Historians aren't too sure what became of Rodriguez. They hope that answer is hidden in 16th century manuscripts that they've yet to review. That's the plan going forward, while reminding people Dominican history is rich.
So our history doesn't begin with the migration of Dominicans in the 1960s, but on the contrary, quite a few hundred years before, 1613.
Erica Byfield, News 4, New York.